All right, for the max effort lower body example, I've mapped this out just as I did with the upper body. Again, we're gonna have a 3-week rotation, so the max effort lower body exercise is gonna be different for week 1, week 2, and week 3. We're gonna go to the default back squat for week 4, and then that cycle repeats again for 2 more blocks. So a block is 4 weeks, okay? Again, I recommend working up to a 2 to 5 rep max for most people instead of a true 1 rep max. I feel it's safer. You don't require as much loading. Form tends to be better. Mentally, it's less draining. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, but that's entirely up to you guys. Okay, so that's, use your best judgment based on the people that you're working with. Again, keep in mind that our clients are stressed. They've got enough stress in their everyday lives, and also too, most of them aren't coming in here like wanting to become super badass lifters, okay? Of course, we want to make sure they're doing everything right. Don't get me wrong. And if you're anything like me, it's constantly rewarding because you get people that have zero background lifting weights, and they come in here and you're able to educate them and teach them and empower them, and they really begin to love it. So I guess my point of all that is to say that this isn't the number one focus of our clients' lives, okay? So, of course, let's make it be a great experience, all right? So, for max effort lower body, what we're gonna do in block 1, week 1 is gonna be a box squat with chains, 5 rep max, okay? As I said in the previous video, chains and bands are what's called accommodating resistance, all right? In a group setting, it can be tricky to incorporate either one, just because depending on how many people that you're working with, it requires more equipment, it requires more setup. I prefer the use of the short elite FTS bands for deadlifts. I feel like that's easy to accomplish in the group setting. Chains is a little bit different animal because you would need to have a set of at least, the chains that I have in here, each pair is a total of 40 pounds, okay? So you would need at least that for each person, and at $100 a set, depending on how many people you have, that may just be something that seems frivolous to have. So, but I put it in here to show an example, okay? So box squat with chains, 5 rep max. Week 2, we got a sumo block pull from a 2 to 4 inch height, 5 rep max. So block pull or a rack pull, it's interchangeable. Block pull, you have blocks on the floor, elevates the height of the barbell, just so you can adjust the height, okay? So that's another way of adding variety to a deadlift, is pulling from various heights. You also have deficit pulls, okay? Block pulls compared to rack pulls are kind of a little bit of a different animal. As a former power lifter, I can tell the difference, but with a block pull, the plates are resting on the blocks, all right? With a rack pull, the bar is resting on the safety spotter arms or the pins in a rack. So the difference between the two is that when you perform a block pull, you can take the slack out of the bar as you would with a regular deadlift from the floor, versus with a rack pull, with the bar resting itself on the pins or safety spotter arms, that's not, you can't do that. So they have a little bit of a different feel to them, okay? I prefer a block pull over a rack pull any day. Some people might be the opposite though, so that's just me. But okay, back to what I'm talking about. Week 3, front squat, 5 rep max. Week 4, we go to our basic back squat. You're going to work up to a single with 85%. The cycle repeats again for block 2. So we got box squat with chains, 3 rep max, sumo block pull, 3 rep max, front squat, 3 rep max, and then again, back squat, hit a single with 90%. Block 3, box squat, 2 rep max. Sumo block pull, 2 rep max, front squat in week 3 for a 2 rep max, and then in week 4 we have back squat. We're working up to a single with 95%. Then the following week, this is 12 weeks. Following week is a great time to retest a max on the back squat. So you could retest a 1 to 3 rep max back squat very easily right there. So that gives y'all a progression for the max effort lower body.